Aloha, folks. Well, continuation of the war with the Coqui frogs. Some years back, Puna became infested with these noisy little amphibians, and well, they're quite annoying. I find I have a hard time relaxing in the evenings and a hard time sleeping because of their sound. 90 decibels. That's the same as a leaf blower or a weed whacker. Hey, guess who just showed up here? Huh? Gracie? They were saying, where's the cat? They want to know where the cat is.
Every now and then, Gracie brings me a frog. Right, girl? Yeah, she will bring me a frog. And she gets rewarded for it, too. Yeah. Good girl.
Now, originally, a long time back, they had been using hydrated lime as control on this frog, and well, the county has disapproved and disallowed that one. Citric acid is the current. That's the approved method of controlling the frog. We use a tank sprayer. We mix 2 1/2 cups of citric acid in 1 gallon of water and spray it on the frogs. Now, this video is very much for people who live here, and particularly in Puna. You people in Puerto Rico, where your frog is holy, and other people who have no experience with how nasty this little beast is, you have nothing but bad to say about me, and I've had to take videos down before because I got attacked by idiots. But there's a very high dollar fine for transportation of this frog here in Hawaii. It is considered an invasive species. We are supposed to control the frog, and for transportation there is even jail time. The state is very serious. Whether you people out there or not you think it's not nice to control this frog, I'm sorry. We like sleep. Yeah, we don't have the natural controls in the island, you see. We don't have snakes. In Puerto Rico, places where they have lots and lots and lots of snakes, the frogs' numbers are kept down. Yeah, it controls them. But we don't have anything here that controls it. Most everything that I've ever seen that tried to eat it threw it up, so I think it's mildly poisonous. My cat barfs them up if she gets a hold of one. So, well, anyway, so originally I was dusting with lime, and a lot of people were dusting with lime. There are negatives to it. It's messy. Yeah, it makes everything turn white. It's also hard on some plants. If it gets into orchid pots and things, it'll burn the roots off. So lime isn't necessarily a real good solution. The citric acid is better. It's not highly visible when you use it in the landscape. It does affect some plants. Yeah, citric acid will knock the leaves off a bougainvillea if it gets enough of it. Crotons don't seem to care for it either. It defoliates them. On the other hand, a lot of plants seem like they could just care less whether you spray citric acid on them or not. So that's most plants. So it's generally non-destructive otherwise in a landscape. I have found originally when I was using the acid, I would listen for the frogs and attempt to direct the streams at the frogs. And I still do that if I can figure it out. But sometimes these things are so hard to find and they are so numerous that instead I've taken to spraying overhead into the canopy above the frogs. allowing the acid to drip downward from the canopy, and then later when rains might come, we'll flush more of it off the foliage and drop it downward, dropping it on the frogs. I have noticed that after a good spray and the frogs are still croaking, then we'll get a light rain, and next thing I know, there ain't no more croaking out there. So it must wash it down as a secondary effect on top of them. Well, other techniques that I have experimented with, the Bluetooth boombox. Yeah, this works well if you can remember. There's several ways you can use it, but I'd say number one best way, I just Bluetooth it to some screaming loud high frequency rock and roll that's on YouTube, and then usually we'll find something that's, an album, something that's going to go on for a while, and then just put the speakers out on the porch, aiming them towards the landscape where the frogs are at, and we'll put them out there, half hour for dinner time, maybe when the sun's still up. Turn it on loud and just let it pump until their ears bleed. The frequency of the rock and roll seems to disturb the frog's ability to do Coqui, 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 bust the rhythm, screws with the frequencies. It's fairly effective. It's important, though, if you want to have some peace sitting on the lanai after dinner, that you get started early, before the frogs start croaking, before sundown. If there's a noise in that area that disrupts them before they can actually get going with their croak, it generally works much better than trying to chase them away with the sound later. Disrupting their ability to start. So get going early. Otherwise, if you didn't, well, you can always use the Bluetooth speaker just to drown them out while you're sitting on the porch. Turn it up loud. Get that point to where your ears don't hurt, but the frog does. Well, then, last night I was out there and about 1 o'clock in the morning sitting on the lanai with Gracie, and we had a frog that gotten into the tropical rhododendron, the virea, that's right there next to the porch. It's off my left ear, and it was painful because the sound was bouncing off of the top of the lanai roof, see, and reverberating. They're awful. Well, I was not feeling like looking for some acid, 1 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't going to turn on loud rock and roll. So I decided, well, these things, they croak at night, but not very much in the day. So I got this thing out. This is an incredibly bright LED lantern. And, I just kept moving along the landscape, the edge of the porch, until I hit the spot where the frog was, and was glaring it right into the frog's eyes, and the frog shut up. I said, oh, the sun came up. The sun came up? Well, it actually worked pretty well. Now, there was another frog nearby, and that one would get the other one agitated, and occasionally it would start back up, but then it would stop again because of the light. So I wouldn't say it was 100%, but it did work for a while. And so intense light, I watching YouTube, I get these commercials, and lately there's been one where they got this military-grade flashlight that will even burn through steel. Have you seen that one? Yeah. Boy, oh boy, I want to get one of them for the Coqui frogs, right? Yeah. It even burns through a Coqui frog. It's only useful if you live in a rainforest where nothing's dry and your shrubs need trimming. Go with lightsaber pruning. Mm-hmm. Okay, folks, there you go. Loud sounds, bright lights, and acid. Yeah? What's up? Are we going in, Gracie? Yeah. I think we're done, right? Heading to the house? Hang loose.